Hey, welcome out to GunPla and Chill this week for you. Let me give you just a real quick second here to get that face cam reset, as for some reason it did not want to activate when we got started. And it's still not wanting to activate. Give me just a second, guys. I am super sorry for that. Well, as I go ahead and get that set up, do wanted to mention specifically, like tonight we're going to be working on our Unicorn our Unicorn Gundam Perfectibility. Got a few things back here from the paint shop itself. I painted a little bit off camera as well. Some things that we may have even seen before. So I did some reverse washing here to get the eyes and face ready to go. But the big thing to take away is that once again I'm looking to go with the colors of when Unicorn Gundam goes to its let's call it its great stage, or its miracle stage. Ooh, that's a good name for a miracle stage. So in the miracle stage of the show, it's kind of got like this greenish blue hue, more maybe even turquoise as well. So that's the color we painted here for these. Now, granted, the inner frame stuff and the psycho frames are going to be the same color, but you can see that this is what we did from the paint shop. This is a light coat over silver specifically, or chrome, with a coat of there afterwards green. Actually, maybe even two coats of clear green as well. So that's how we got that color. It came out really, really great, if you ask me. I was super, super happy with it. And now the flip side, though, is that the two-tone piece did not come out perfect, per se. I would have liked to see things a little bit better here for it, in all honesty, but the beautiful thing about this, though, is that this piece is entirely able to be separated. So what we're going to do here is actually take it over with another full coat. Just on the flip side, now that we have these in place and they're good on that side, this is all going to be white anyway. We're going to take this entire coat here and finish it up with the white, because this is the same blue, but you'll see that we fully got white over the antenna. So this is actually two-tone, though. So this is white on one side, and this is what we were talking about last time. And then we flipped it over, and now we have our full-on gold, which actually, that's a black primer with a gold, game polish gold. Ooh, that's a name. Game polish gold airbrush. So now, as far as what we've got going on tonight, a big thing is that we have a special guest with Phoenix Gundam joining us. So on the side piece, I've been working on Phoenix Gundam. There he is, looking pretty sharp. Gotten some gold going on here. It's actually now, especially seeing on camera, it's got good reflectivity as well, which I was really hoping to get. So it's looking good. In general, it's definitely far from finished. It's taking me a little bit longer though, because the paint job is kind of unique per se for some of the builds. So I've got a. If you are interested in that paint job, please just let me know, and I would be happy to share what we got going on for that in general. So, especially because you can see it's a different gold in this one. Maybe a little bit there in camera. Lighting sometimes doesn't give the things justice. But we have him joining today, though, specifically because a lot of elements are shared. And one thing that is shared as well is the shields. So the shields are shared in between these two Gundams. And I wanted to point this out because in our manual, we don't have like any colored painting pictures of this Gundam. It's all basically just instructions on how to build. This is the closest thing to color that we really have inside of it. in general. And these are just the colored back pages of this Gundam specifically. So I found that it's a problem here because specifically I'm looking to see that color scale, and there's actually no portion of this booklet does it even show. Oh, excuse me, I lied. So this is the only portion of the booklet that shows its color schemes a little bit here. So we're going based upon this as well as this one image. So this is the one art image of it. And so the reason why our shields are having a special guest appearance here is because if you notice, the shields here have this gray tone as well. So we have those gray pieces that we have to actually paint in, and same thing on the back side. I noticed that specifically in the Phoenix manual when I have been working on it, that it has got that gray tone as well on the back side. So just to show you guys a comparison as well, there's a painted version of it, and you can see right here, this is the gray stuff that we're talking about all up in here that it doesn't have on the other pictures from the Perfectibility. So the good news is that I've already got a good bit of practice painting it. I've already made the color as well. I made my recipe for it, so this is actually really pretty close. This one's close to finish. I mean, as well, I just gotta finish painting the tip of this part that goes on top, and then it'll be solid. And so there's my shields almost mimic each other right now in general with their completion status. But that's a really big key takeaway for me as well, especially because I'm looking to do weapons first for this build because there's so many of them, which is pretty cool in addition to that. So that's our special guest appearance. He's going to hang out here though on the edge for our GunPla and Chill tonight as well. But let's go ahead and jump back into this guy. We were working on, once again, the weapons. We got the part of the right arm finished up, so we're going to be working on that arm a little bit more as well to go ahead and get him to a stage so that we can work on the claw arm, which is the other side. And this darn camera, oh goodness guys, especially because I'm wearing a different Gundam shirt tonight, one that I actually made myself for one of my work shirts per se, weirdly enough. And not that I'm looking to show it off, but I'm super excited to have it on. And then of course, everything wants to be just a little bit finicky tonight, right? You're all ready to go. Things are going smooth. And then the camera doesn't work. Don't think it's me being camera shy. That's definitely not what it is. And oh, hello. Or in the words there of our great general himself, hello there. So, alright, there we go. In the house now. Hello there. So let's look at what we've got going on for our arm. So we're going to finish assembling the pieces for the arm, probably cutting them out, cleaning them up in addition to that as well, to get this whole right arm ready to go. I've definitely decided to stick with this this Banshee beam whip specifically as my piece to have displayed. So I'm going to build the other one as well. Who knows, may want to just swap it out just from time to time just for fun. Especially because the beam javelin that it has is super awesome. However though, I'm planning on having the beam javelin collapse in its back piece specifically. Oh, but actually before we get there though, we have to assemble some things, which I'm super excited to do. So we have the head unit to finish up. There's not many parts left for it. Not many parts in general for it as well. Just because we've already got them prepped ahead of time. But we're going to take this off, split the head in half, to go ahead and get it all assembled. Hopefully everybody's had a really good solid week, getting ready for this next one coming up. If you've had a relaxing Sunday as well, looking and hoping you guys all had. And then once again, thanks for coming and hanging out. Always love to build some Gundams. Oh, it came out superb. I'm gonna bring that in a little bit more. I think this head unit is gonna be probably actually one of my best pieces of work. And I'm actually not gonna lie though, the color scheme actually made it much easier as well because of the fact that the eyes and the psycho frame get to be the exact same color. What's going on, Diggs? BT dubs? Is it okay if I say dubs? Alright, give me a second here. I want to zoom in once again. These eyes they kind of really are popping so well with this build. And I think it's once again because of the color scheme. So check it out. Like, they came out looking really sharp in general. We got the two-tone. We got the psycho frame that's just slightly below it as well. Psycho frame above. So I'm really excited to see it fully assembled. And then also the colors for the head, the V fin also came out just exactly as I want. Like, I couldn't have asked for it to appear any better. In addition to that, so there we go. And you can see we're looking pretty solid there, even though some of that psycho frame you can't see. And then we do have one other piece to throw in here as well. Yep, we've already done it. The blue hollow stickers already in there. I was not going to paint that because there's too much perfect white here already. Now what's fun with this Unicorn Gundam that came about is also it has literally every single one of the V-fins that any of the Unicorns had. So there's a lot of customability with it. I thought was actually pretty doggone awesome to be able to have. You don't get to have that often. Plus, gives you a lot of extra parts if you're looking to build something else in the future. And there we go. There is our head unit in general. Came out looking absolutely perfect if you ask me. You gotta do some panel lining, of course, but outside of the panel lining that still needs to be done. A little bit of touches up actually right here with gray. That gray is for the oh goodness, what are they called? Vulcan Cannons. There at the top, but everything else is, we got the white in the back here because once again the Unicorn splits open white in it's white all around except for the V-fin in the middle. When it opens up, it's that gold color. So that's what we mimicked here specifically. Yeah, the psycho frame looks really good in general. It really captures the essence of the anime in this instance. So I am super stoked with how that came out. We're going to let it sit over there with Phoenix a little bit. Super happy to have Phoenix here as well with us. If we have a little bit of time left over from working on these weapons for the right and left arm, we'll actually jump in and actually get some more of the Phoenix parts assembled, and I can show you guys some of that too. So let me get our focus back into place here. It matches where we're at. So we are going over see what we need left for our arm here. We got some pieces already cut out as well. The lower half of the arm. We actually need to go get the shoulders. The shoulders. Here is that joint unit that we got to clean up, and then this piece also still hangs out in here as well. Now, I think I did this on complete accident, but maybe it was intentional, but I didn't. Oh wow, that focus is real bad. You guys gotta holler at me when things like that happen. Excuse me. Been fighting off a sinus infection myself this week. It's not been too fun. There we go. So we're gonna do a little bit of cleaning up with that. Gonna put lots. Got my tools right here on the side. I know you really can't see them right now. Oh, the shirt though. So if you've ever seen Gundam 0080 War in a Pocket, Cyclops team logo for this shirt, and got a bigger one on the back as well. I don't know if you guys can see. Yeah, you can't see it. I'm sorry. But yeah, it's a cool, fun shirt made back in the day. Somebody printed it out for me, and I've been just pulled it out of the. I think it's like my only actual like custom-made Gundam shirt, which is so weird because I love them so much, and I don't have nearly enough apparel that has Gundam on it. So just clean up these pieces here. We're gonna do some. I'm not planning on painting the frame here. I haven't painted the frame for the other Unicorn Gundams I have as well, so just to make the Pokemon set all complete, we're not gonna paint this frame either as well. But so that being the case, though, we are gonna buff down with all of them so we get rid of our nubs as much as we can in this instance. So I'm starting with the 240. This is actually my favorite sanding sponges as well, is these God Hand ones. They work so good, and they're so soft on the plastic as well. They literally are made for Gunpla building. While like there's I use Display as well, and I have some Madworks one, but these are the ones I keep going back to just because they're so soft on the plastic. They round super well, and their grits are not overly aggressive. Even their 800 grit here is almost like a polishing buff, which is pretty amazing considering it's 800. It's listed as 800 grit, which would be still pretty rough in general. It's a buffing one, but it's still pretty rough. So if you can get your hand on some God Hand ones, I would highly recommend trying them out, seeing how they feel for you as well. I have definitely not been disappointed with them, and I've had these, oh my goodness, almost a year now. I probably should replace them, but they still seem to be working just fine, even after a year. And just to put that into perspective, like how many Gundams that is, probably maybe like 30. I've probably built 30 units in that year's amount of time that I've had these. Now granted, I do swap between other ones though as well. Maybe that's helping with the longevity, but I do see myself going to these quite a bit. And it was $10 for the pack of 5. I don't use the 121 very often. That's still just a little bit, like 120 is way too aggressive for me. Unless something is like really bad. So that's what I bring it down to. But yeah, these even up to 600. I mean, this 800, like that's a nice finish right there for it. You can still see. I mean that's that nub that you're seeing there, or nub per se. That's just the plastic injection spot. So we won't be able to get rid of that unless we paint specifically. But you're really not going to see it since this is a movable joint. That spot is even right underneath here. So very little to be seen. This does need to be painted, our Psycho Frame colors, so that I think maybe I was gonna do it in the lab, and I mean the paint lab, but I forgot to take it with me, so I'm super sorry about that. This one is just gonna fit into place, if I'm not mistaken. So we don't need to do like very much cleaning or sanding for it in general. And I'm not gonna lie, guys. If you get your hands on a Phoenix Gundam that you're gonna want to paint gold, this has been some work. Ooh, has it been some work? Um, and sad to say, I'm glad I decided to show you to show the results off camera because, well, dang, there's just so much work involved. It probably would have taken so many episodes to make that complete. All right, so we got our joint here. We're gonna put it in together here a little bit. We're gonna give you an idea what it's supposed to look like. Once again, our coloring, this needs to be painted. This will snap on like this. And sadly, separating this, it broke off one of the pegs on the inside of it, so I wasn't too happy about that. It doesn't impact the functionality at all, and a little bit of glue will make that part fully stick. But overall, I'm still not overly fond with how that happened. So, but you're just gonna see like the gray is like barely visible, but it's still just enough that we have to actually still place it into the arm itself. So, this will hold in better once this is into place because it sits around this PC joint, so we're not going to worry too much about it. And we have to do some painting, so believe it or not though, outside of this going back to the lab to be matching up here, I may even make this a gray color, I don't know yet. Make this gray on this side. What do you guys think? Should it be gray to like show what it's supposed to, and actually I can, the art for the Banshee Gundam has it the same color as the Gundam itself, but I don't know, I think there's some merit here to actually having it painted like a gray color. Since it is a weapon and it's probably, I don't know how to say, get some, ooh, metal fatigue, let's go with that. Probably get some fatigue from usage, per se, so we would see some exposure of the metal, or just by default you would see the metal. But the fact that it's got psycho frame here is pretty interesting. So there's some psycho frames in this weapon, and it gets really, really powerful when the NTD from Unicorn Gundam actually goes active. So, but that, believe it or not, though, guys, that's actually the basis for that arm weapon in general. So it is a whole arm dedicated to that weapon. And so now we're going to mimic the other side. So the other side's going to have very similar things as well. So we're going to get them starting to be cutting, cut them out. I still like that this Gundam doesn't need so much painting. It's going to make for, in a sense, it's a little bit faster of a build. Oh, yeah. I also wanted to possibly, if we have enough time here tonight as well, is to do some scribing for the, what's it called? The shoulders. These shoulders are kind of unique in this instance. We're going to need this. And the reason why is because there's a seam line there. And so in order to do the seam line repair, we can either do our method using liquid cement and stuff, or we can do the seam line repair by actually doing my favorite thing, which is to replace it with a scribe. So scribing it into place there to really help out. Alright, so this is most of the arm stuff. We've got, okay, so this is the claw coverings. We got a chest piece also for Banshee here. We need the arm pieces that we're just gonna clip out here from the clear plastic area. And then we're gonna need a PC. Our PC's already out. And we're gonna need the elbow joint, as well as just a touch more of arm pieces. such as this one. So that's what we're going to need to get this weapon all built out for us. So we're going to start out by cutting out all of our claw pieces, focusing on weapons still. Glad I also, so this one I've also done before with Banshee, so I know that it's actually pretty, all the areas that we're nipping right now will need to be painted our color that we've been working with. But the good news is that none of the nubs here show at all, so kudos to the engineering team. And that is true for both parts. This is the upper part of the claw. And then here's the lower part. I have also come to conclusions tonight, guys, that I am going to move my physical picture over to the other side. I keep nipping like right in the way of that or working in that. So I am sorry for any times that you can't see it. So Diggs, BT Dub, tell me what's your favorite Gundam series? Drop it into chat. I would love to find out. Love to chat about it. And actually, we're now done with our first runner. Hello. Extra parts galore here, as a matter of fact. So we only need this for the weapon. And then, very similar, since we're going to have a lot of extra parts here, we're actually going to have an extra hand too. These ones I am going to give some TLC because every single one of these nubs need to be sanded down, unfortunately. They're all visible. There we go. These ones not so much, because these are going to be covered up by the actual side pieces of the arm unit. Or the claw. The claw. But once again, here we go. To get a good amount of extra parts. If I could find like a good extra back piece for something, or just resin cast it. Get another back piece that way, you could make so many extra Gundam parts here. But considering how many runners there are for this suit specifically, I'm glad to have at least just one more gone. And now this will make 2. And there we go. That's what's left. Alright, we got most of our parts there for it. Those are from the extra runners, and these are from the default runners. Or these ones mirror each other. Oh, I'm just envisioning this, having worked on so many of the other Unicorn Gundams. I'll have to show you this. I'll post a setup in Discord as well so you can see what all of them look like so far. I've got 3 up there out of my total of 5 that I'll have. Is it 5 or 6? Oh, it's 6. Wow. I made I made 2 extra. I made a kit bash so that I could show like some Xeon versions of the Unicorn Gundam. Because if you ever saw the show, they were actually looking to give the Unicorn to the Neo Zeon group the sleeves. But as things progress, it doesn't obviously go to the sleeves. It goes to Banagher, and Banagher leaves it the same. So my thing is what if the sleeves did get it? How would it look? And so I made a full frontal version of it, and then I also made a Marina version as well. So I'm actually still working in the Marina. As a matter of fact, I got to get my final parts from this Gundam, and that is because Marina's Kshatriya has 4 wings. We went with 4 shields for it. So I've got 3 out of the 4 done from the other kits, and this will be the last kit that I actually need to get that final piece. So it's been a really big work in progress, but it's looking pretty solid. So as a matter of fact, since we're talking about it, I'm going to clip out those pieces for that shield right now. Because this Perfectibility Gundam's got those 2 big old shields. It doesn't need this little baby one. So we are just going to steals it, just like the Precious itself. The Precious that I'm referring to is, of course, the One Ring. I want to make sure we're all on the same page there. And look at that, another extra chest piece for Banshee Gundam. I've got like 5 of them now, it feels like. Ooh, that's special. That's a really, really big backpack unit, or expanded wing unit. I wonder why that's like, oh, I know why it's different. Never mind. So many Banshee parts in here. Let's see. Oh, I'm looking for, yes, in here. We are looking for the pieces for the shield. But we happen to also need pieces for... Oh, I had such a super big scare with our parts for this Gundam this week. I couldn't find the V-fin. I was painting it on Saturday evening, and I could not find it. Excuse me, to save the life of me. I was looking for it so desperately as well, and I even looked and see if any of my other Unicorn kits had the part, and none of them did. None of them have an extra V-fin for the original piece. So lo and behold, my fright at that stage. But fortunately, we found it, and I'm like, now that that head is assembled, it is gonna stay all together now. I'm not gonna lose that thing again. It's too valuable since there's only one, and I don't want to have to order a part from Japan. Because the last time I did, man, guys, it took like 6 weeks to get it, and it was like $35 as well. The biggest reason why was the shipping. Like if you're in Japan and you're able to get it, like that's the way to go, because it's only like, it's pennies. It's pennies over there to get a replacement part, no matter what kit it was. This was actually for a P Bandai kit that actually is very valuable. That's why I was like, I have to get the piece back, because I can't find it anywhere. I'm gonna blame my son because it was his fault. He lost it. But anyway, it was $35 to get that piece here, and I was like, I'm not about to spend $35 for a Unicorn V-fin as well, just to get that one piece back. But for the P Bandai kit, it's much more. It was much more valuable. It's a Sonaju Y, so I have to have the. I don't know if it's called a V-fin for a Gundam. What's it called for a Zeon base suit? So. I think I got all. Oh no, we're missing one piece. I'm missed one piece on the A set. Let's see, yep, right there. Alright, literally, that was just all the clipping work, man. Or, everybody. We have a lot more to clean up as well. So I'm going to leave these to the side though. Just put them actually in my paint box to go downstairs for my paint lab. Just mainly because they have to be painted from the start. So I'll paint and clean off camera. This is for a different project anyway, so unless you're super curious at it, and if you are, then drop me a line in Discord and I'll show you the pictures of it. I'm going to show the pictures anyway with all the other ones as well. Alright, so we got all those. Let's go work. Lots of cleanup to do in general, so we're going to start by getting this arm together. The pieces that don't need nearly as much touching up. Alright. Now I shaved down the arm, and actually not shaved down, I sanded down the arm for this one last time. I think I'm actually just going to use the blade on it. Just to make it nice and even. Because you can kind of still see it. Yeah, oh that came out real clean. With the top coat you won't be able to see that at all. And I'm actually thinking of changing top coats. I've been using Vallejo and Microsol for some time, but I really am digging some Tamiyas recently. Like, granted, my local hobby shop that sells my Gundams and everything close by, that's what they mainly use, is Tamiya paints. Tamiya and oh, what's that other one? They have a lot of AK series, AK Interactives as well. I guess they have a lot of Vallejo too, but they don't have the Mecha series. They got a little bit more for me, thankfully. I kept telling them, like, guys, you need to get Mecha series. You have enough Gundams here that these Gundam builders want this color, want these paints. So they got a few of them. Yeah, there we go. Oh yeah, that came out real clean. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's the stuff. I'm gonna get this elbow joint clipped out as well. But they have a lot of Tamiya. They regularly stock it as well. And Tamiya is used for a lot for model kits in the first place. But I've been noticing though that with my Tamiya paints, not only do they dry what I feel like is a little bit harder, but it kind of has a, I guess they dry harder than Vallejo. Is the best way I can say for it. It cures better. Ooh, there's something. It cures very, very solidly, it feels like. So I've had good results. Like, for instance, this is actually almost all Tamiya this time. This is a Tamiya gold leaf below, and then a orange top coat as well to give it that real gold look, kind of that it's got going on there. But anyway, it feels like really, really hard in addition to that. So I'm wondering how the top coat feels. I've got so much though already of the Mecha series top coat that it might be a while before I need to switch over, but I mean it's really not too expensive either. Tamiya paints are cheaper than Vallejo as far as pricing goes. And then with thinning them out, the paints can last a really long time. But I'm definitely, it's that time of the year where I really like to paint. So if there's like painting units, this is now the time that I do it. Just because it's so nice outside. You can go outside and paint, spray paint a little bit. You can use some lacquers. It's a good enamels for spray painting. It's all, I mean, it can be for airbrushing. I use airbrush. So it's a good time to, it's my favorite time of the year to paint, that's for sure. So I kind of save my painting kits for this time of the year. Even though this one is not so much actually, like, especially because of that pure white. Like if you want that pure white color, you definitely want to not paint the Gundam. I know that sounds a little bit weird, but like the nub marks are going to be almost invisible on these Gundams anyway, that are like solid white, so it's not going to show. Why not leave it that white? Just remember, before you actually panel line these boys, especially when you do any sanding like I am, you have to. There's no exception to this. You have to top coat it first before you start panel lining. Reason being is that it will, the scratches that are there from the scratches that you get from doing the sanding will actually absorb some of the accent liner, whether you're using a wash or the Tamiya accent liner. It will absorb it, and that will, in this case, not be very good for your model. And then you'll have to sand down that part again to get rid of it, which also may at the same time get rid of your panel lining as well. So there's just so many things to be worried about there. This one I am sanding down a little bit here, just because this one will be a lot more visible, and I want to make sure it fits well in addition to that. Because it is, once again, you're going to see the hand from this one. Very much does have a visible hand. That's the reason why we clean. If it doesn't need to be clean, excuse me, if it's not going to be visible and it's just a holding piece, then let it be a holding piece. You don't need to paint it. Don't waste your paint on it. Even your time, though. I mean, your time is also valuable. I know. Sometimes it's like, hey, I know what's going to be there, but that's okay still. It's, even if you know it's there, and that it's not the full frame color or the full something else, hey, it's what you're trying to display. What are you trying to display? You trying to display the Gundam, or you want to show off the frame? What you got going on? So high grades, definitely not worried about the frame myself, because most of them don't have a frame. The exception, of course, is the iron-blooded Orphan Gundams. All those, actually, guys, you can see a lot of their frame, which is pretty cool, and allows for some really cool paint jobs if you do go off and paint the frame. So I'm excited because I've got a few Iron-Blooded Orphan Gundams as well, and with those, I've already painted one of the armors. I did a what was it? What was that suit? The Astaroth, Astaroth Gundam, and with it, it's got a really nice. The frame came out really good in my opinion. Excuse me. There's that sinus infection again. It's got a really nice frame coloring as well, which now I was using that one as my test subject for the rest of my Iron-Blooded Orphan suits, so I'm really excited to get digging into those. So man, I feel like, guys, I'm so sorry, but it feels like we've gotten nowhere tonight in general, just because there's been so much work just to make these arms happen. And I know sanding is always the most fun part to see on camera, right? There we go. got that piece done. This is already into place. And I got it backwards. There we go. Yep, there we go. Got that arm done. Actually, guys, I do want to know if you want to see the paint job for this. If you want to see how I make it with, once again, the green, the blue, and the chrome finish. Once again, what does it look like? The final coloring is like this. So that's what we're going for, actually, in general. So if you want to see that, drop it in the chat, and I will take you down to the lab next week. I call it the lab, whatever. The paint shop. Let's call it the paint shop. So then that way we can actually show you how that looks in general. It does take some work to make it, so I try to do multiples at one time. Oh, another fun thing. Oh, I have to mention this, and I definitely wanted to mention it today. With painting with Tamiya and Vallejo, those are the two brands I go with for my paints for the most part. But there's a really cool thing. So Tamiya's formula for its thinner is quite different than Vallejo's. It's actually, if anything, it's more aggressive as well. It will take off paint. It'll take off Tamiya, of course, as well as Vallejo paints. However, though, the Vallejo does not impact the Tamiya. It's a much weaker formula. Which, why do I mention this? It makes it amazing, absolutely amazing for reverse washing. So reverse washing is, once again, that's the technique where you paint down first, and then use, once it's dry and coated up, then you're able to paint over on top of it and take the other paint away from it, or remove it that way. These two combinations of paint has really allowed, like these eyes were specifically that. That's the black liner in there is the Vallejo, but the base color for the eyes and for the psycho frame there was all the Tamiya. So it made it really easy, and the best feeling is that it's going to be super safe because the Tamiya paint does not come off that easily. Does not get impacted by the thinner, or even I'm using the airbrush cleaner actually to mark it off because it comes off so much easier with that. But there's no, it just comes off so easily with it as well. And the best part about it, all water soluble, which means that it's gonna be super easy to clean up, super non-toxic as well. So it's a really I've on these actually past few unicorn-based Gundams that I've been working on, it has really made like some of their psycho frame stuff, which has actually been a good challenge here as well. It's made them really manageable. And actually, even like when I was finished painting the eyes for this, doing the dark coat, I just got my thinner and just wiped it all away, and it just came out perfectly. It was I can't tell you how perfect it was. And at the same time it was so easy. So if you're looking to do reverse washing with acrylics, Tamiya for your bottom coat, Vallejo for your top, and then it'll easily wipe away and look really great afterwards as well. Alright. Oh, did I not cut out the beam saber for that? I don't think I did. I sure did not. Good stage to be at, guys, if you know that a part is missing just by building it. I felt really proud of myself just now. Being able to be like, hey, am I missing this? And lo and behold, I was. once again, the good news about white is that you can actually just shave away like excess, which is absolutely fantastic, because sometimes it saves you so much more time than just sanding. And there I go again, doing the work over my own image. Hopefully this is better now. There we go. It's so crazy how pivotal this beam saber is, because it really holds this arm unit in place. So it's got its important job right there. Ah, but some terribly exposed nubs right there. They must go. Oh, that is so uneven too. Wow. I probably just I maybe even messed up that piece. Hopefully not though. It was so uneven. I was standing up upward at an angle. It didn't do good things for it, and it's only noticeable probably to me at this stage. But yeah, it did do a great job there. I've definitely done better things in my life than that. Looks like we need some here at the end too. Just very light though. Alright, got that sanded down. This fits into there, of course. Holds it so much better into place. Just like that. So, stoked. Look at that. We got some 2 arms here. They are slightly different as far as appearance, so that way we know it's right and left. And we will leave them on the mat as such. The good news is though, is that we can kind of put some of this. I haven't decided what to do with the hand yet. If I'm going to go the ball fist here, or go with like the outstretched hand like that one. I think that actually that outstretched one, I think it was white, so it would need to be painted, and I excuse me, rather not have to paint more of that gray than I have to. I know I'm going to have to for the shields now. Yeah, so we got blue that goes into there. The other one, oh no, that clips into there. Looking at its breakdown real quick here to see if we can mount this already to the arm itself or not. Because I actually think we can. Fits in there like this. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, that piece right there makes it so that we have to finish it up first before we can fully mount it. But everything else is, it's actually a really cool design too for it and how it sits. So I'm so sorry guys. I know my coughing is not also what you signed up for with tonight as well. Some of this does clip out pretty good though. Might not need too much sanding here with all these pieces. I'm just happy that they don't have to all be painted because it's just white. And you can't see nub marks. Well, maybe that time you can, but that's because I was bad cut. But you can also, once again, just sand things. I mean, not sand things down. Blade it down, use some nice soft sandpaper, finish it up real fast. Nub marked, erased. Excuse me again. I'm so sorry. I've seen people actually keep their nubs after they cut. I mean the runner nub after clipping them all out for some of their Gundams. I think that's interesting. I'm definitely not attached to them. Ah, I just see that was a slight Gundam pun there. Because you got to nip them out from their attachments, huh? No, I'm sorry. Too much of a stretch. I'll try again later. There we go. I'm actually not going any particular order. I plan on getting them all done and cleaned up. I'm actually going as fast as I can here, with as much accuracy as well. Not speed build style, but you know, pretty close. Which, oh yes, there is going to be a speed build here in the future. So I've come to conclusions that here's when we're going to do it. So final Tuesdays of the month is going to be speed. Oh, excuse me, not Tuesday. My apologies. Final Saturdays of the month is going to be a speed build day. I don't know why I said Tuesday. So it's going to be a minimum of a it's gonna be a maximum of a 2-hour broadcast. That's how long we're gonna do it. Go ahead and get a suit or a Gundam kit as well. That's going to be mostly white because we're looking to do minimal painting. So if it's a minimal painting unit, white usually needs the least amount of painting. If you get a full solid like light gray suit, that should be pretty good too. Because we're going to build a Gundam as fast as you can, as accurate as we can, within a time limit. Once again, that time limit is going to be 2 hours. So it's going to be a 2-hour broadcast. I'm bringing a Stray Gundam from Gundam Below for it. But yes, the last Saturday of the month. Time still to be determined. I might be a little bit earlier in our day, just because it happens to be Halloween this time as well. But it's going to be Speed Build Saturday. Is what we're looking to do. If you'd like to participate, join the Discord, GunPla and Chill, and post what you're going to be doing, and let's have some fun. That's all it's for. No real competition here. Sadly, don't have anything to give away for you yet. Nor would I know what to give you away. So, or give away to you. But yes, Speed Build Saturdays. It's only going to be once a month as well. Get some of those kits, put them on your shelf the quickest is what it's all about. Get it shelf ready as fast as you can. And then last but not least, see how long it takes us. I think the last speed build I did was Gundam 00. I did a pretty good job. I think I took care of it in 4 hours. Start to finish. But then I went back and painted it. excuse me, for another piece. But the build part, once again, this is all about just the building piece. Building it, getting rid of nubs as well as fast as you can. That's what a speed build's all about. Alright, just a few more parts here tonight, guys, and then we're going to close up shop for the night. It is still a school night after all. So, gotta go throw my kids into their beds. As well as, yeah, this old guy needs his bedtime too. So, thanks for letting Phoenix join tonight. He was happy to be here as well. We're about to give him his feet and his waist, as a matter of fact, as well. Oh, that needs a better cutting, that's for sure. Really good rule to live by as well. Usually don't cut towards yourself. These blades are quite sharp, and I'm doing a very bad example of that right now. But it's just so hard to grasp. For the most part, it's gone. I'm having a very hard time seeing that nub in the first place. It's just sometimes the light reflects on it. Once we top coat it, you'll see a thing. Oh, need to go to the other grits. I'll finish a little bit more off camera. I'm going to paint some pieces off screen as well. If you do once again want to see how I did the paint job for the color there, please let me know. I'm happy to show it off. So that way you guys can once again improve your skills. Not to say that my skills are, you know, notable or anything at this point. I just build Gundams, so I've got a few tricks up my sleeves per se. But to show you guys how to do that, if you guys want to make that color scheme as well for any other future Unicorn Gundams that you may do, without having to buy that specific plastic one, because sometimes it's hard to find the plastic, especially because Bandai does not really reprint very often. But yeah, if you're looking to see how to make that color, I am happy to show you that. So only a few pieces actually left to clean up even. So we got some. We're gonna paint all these pieces need to be painted that color that we're talking about. Yeah, we just got these. Actually, you know what? Let's do it tonight. Let's get it done right now. I think we got a little bit more time myself. Yeah, I know it's a school night, but it's not gonna take long. And that's because it's these white pieces. A little bit of nipping, a little bit of sanding. So. There we go. It needs a little bit of sanding though. Not much. Mainly just in that one spot. Yeah, Perfect. Look at that. We got all the pieces cut and cleaned and ready to go for this tonight. I am super excited. Thanks for joining as well this evening. Hopefully you had a good time. Gonna, chill. Maybe build some Gundams here with me. If you built anything, once again, drop it in the Discord. I love to see your guys' stuff. And last but not least, that's all she wrote for tonight. Bam! Those are all of our pieces that we got ready to go. In general, we got our head unit there too, hanging out as well. So, till next week, everybody have a fantastic week. Hopefully, if you get work goes well for you. If you're in school's awesome this week for you too. And we will catch you on the flip side for Join Wednesdays as well, where we're actually building a Gundam Wing model kit, getting very, very close to finishing up Wing 0 as well. We're going to be finishing up painting the Buster Rifle specifically for that. So if you want to jump in there and see that as well, check out Gundam Wednesday. Until we meet again next time, we'll catch you later.